picture when you would like more of something, like more money, more love, more purpose, more service, more meaning, more friendship, more love? Maybe I already said love. Do you picture it coming from the outside to you? Be honest. Is that your first inclination to imagine where is it coming from? Or when you want less pain, less suffering, less friction, less to do, less stress, are you pushing it away? And both of those have to do with what's out there. Today, as a follow-up to Lionsgate, kind of my quirky follow-up, let's look at something that might be covert, that might be subliminal, and that's our container. And that's us, our psyche, our past, our minds, our history. That's a lot to deal with. No wonder we focus outside, because how do you get hold of your history, your enneagram, your present time, your memory, your mood, right? It's a lot. But there's one simple thing I would like to maybe allow to emerge. But before I get to that, there's one more division I would like to make. So you want more, you want less, or a contentment with what is. And let's say those are the three choices. And if you had to pick one right now, today, just between you and you don't have to tell the truth to anyone else, which would it be? You want more, or you want less? Or everything can be exactly as it is, and there's a kind of contentment. You know, when you've had just enough food, or just your temperature is just right, you're not hot, you're not cold. You know what contentment is, right? We're not raised to focus on that as much as we're conditioned to ask for more or less. So you've chosen one. I'm in contentment, and that means, in my language, might not be yours, that you're in gratitude. If you're in contentment, that means you're 100% in gratitude that you're alive. Now, you might not equate it as those words, but that is the channel. It's the same channel, even if it's not your words. And your gratitude list, this is another video, but your gratitude list, where I'm grateful for my body and my health and my partner and my children and that's a list of the things you like. It's not really a gratitude 100%, the kind of gratitude that shifts everything, that the masters talk about as the doorway. So I'm going to put that aside. We can talk more about that, and I have talked about that. But today, there are going to be these other two channels. I want more, or I want less. Or you might be thinking, well, I want more here and less there. you can acknowledge both of those, because now I'm going to take you to maybe someplace new. If we call, just for today, the container, you are the container today. You're the being, but we're not going to call it you. We're not going to call it self, and we're not going to call it with your name or your true I or your false I or your ego. We're not going to use any of those names. We're just going to call it a container. Why? So that maybe we can open to a new insight, but not from here, not just thinking, but a new experience about our container. Because here's something that just dropped down into my heart. When we have a certain history, we've been treated a certain way as a child. Our circumstances, finances have been a certain way. Either we've been wealthy, very few of us were wealthy. Most of us had a certain amount of money. Sometimes it was our families had not enough, and there was stress about that. Other times, money wasn't the subject, it was drinking. It doesn't matter what the story was. Whatever story, whatever memories we have of being treated from the very beginning, what if we made assumptions about our container? So if we felt we didn't receive enough attention, enough validation, enough love, enough kindness, enough protection, enough whatever it was, what if we assumed that our container was not enough or was somehow not capable of receiving more, because we get used to having whatever we've been given? So if there's fighting, if there's money problems, if there's judgment, it doesn't matter what the nature of the story is. We get used to it. And then what if we're assuming there's something wrong with the container, meaning the capacity to hold love, to hold safety, to be harmonious, to experience anything other than what we experienced? There's a certain kind of confidence that we have, that we can get more or have more or live more from the same place. Are you with me? That whatever, let's say we grew up around fighting, there's a certain confidence that we can have a partner or a relationship with a child that's full of tension. We don't have any doubts that this container can hold friction or hold fighting or tension or stress. If we were to talk to the container would say, got it, know how to do that. But what about if we were given kind attention? What if we were 100% appreciated with no buts? But this, but that, fix this. But if you just did it that way, what if? Would we know that this container knew how to do it, could tolerate it? And if you have any doubt that you know how to hold wealth, to hold a friendly, 100% friendly, respectful, kind, adoring, present time attention that you knew, if you have any doubt that that this container could hold all of that, yes, you are in the right place, because acknowledging, feeling how unfamiliar that would be, like you had enough money to do everything you wanted, give, and just everything you wanted, meaning let's not cut back on this so that we can do that, that kind of wanting, where you're not always borrowing from Sam to Pete to feed Peter, let's say, about this trip or that way of doing things. It's not about getting everything. It's about acknowledging that there might be a false belief system that there's something wrong with the container. And by acknowledging that this container has not yet been stretched to be big enough, let's say, to hold 20 gallons of ice cream, because it's only held 1 gallon. Let's say the ice cream represented kindness, or the ice cream represented abundant wealth. What what would it take for this container to stretch and grow, not by your control, because you don't know how, it's out of your experience, but what if nature could do it? Let's say nature wanted, life wanted, Mother Nature, life, God, the divine, the beloved, wanted you to have more, to do service work, more to grow the right kinds of charities, or the right kinds of political organizations, or the right candidates, right meaning from your container, because there'll be differences in our belief systems or what we wish to have. So if I haven't mentioned the way you would love to grow if you knew how, just fill that in yourself. I'm just using these things as examples. But the starting place is knowing on a subliminal level, just coming in contact with the buried subliminal feeling that the container can only hold what it has already received. That's a belief system that most of us have. And if we can acknowledge it by making it conscious, then we can allow something different. So I'm going to leave you with that possibility. What would you like to offer to ask Lionsgate to grow your container to be more able to hold, or to be more willing to have less? If you're suffering, if you're in physical or emotional pain, and you're used to that because you've had one kind or another, let's just play with shifting that possibility by making it conscious. Okay, I have an awareness that I've been used to this. Could I be open to having it be the opposite and having that discomfort of something that has been unknown? Maybe more peace, maybe more money, maybe more love, maybe more respect, maybe less pain, less suffering, less self-doubt. So thank you for going on this different journey with me today. Bye for now.